And it was the make or break stream for Street Fighter 6 because I had such a very unhappy, unfun, messed up time playing this game Monday night when I hit Master Rank with Dhalsim that I didn't even know if I ever wanted to play it again. Capcom really screwed this up because what they did is they created an upper echelon called Master Rank. And to hit it, all you need to do is continuously play this game. Literally, that's all you need to do. You don't have to be good. You don't even have to have a winning record. All you have to do is grind away. Now, with every single character that I've played in this game and hit Master, I have a winning record. I think with Blanca, it's like 50 to 60%. Every other character's around like high 50 to 60%. So every character I've done good with, that's why I'm in Master. But a lot of people have grinded away at Street Fighter 6 for 6 months and hit Master even though they suck. And what's happened is they've brought their terrible internet connections, their awful online gameplay, their abusive online spam, their abuse of fucking just mashing buttons, rush down, smashing drive impact, all that crap that should be left in the lower echelons of the game. You should never have to face that at a high level, has now made it into the high level. And what's happened is this upper tier that used to be, oh, every time you go to Master, you play somebody good, has become, you have to fight through hordes of scrubs with bad internet connections in order to get to anybody good. Perfect example, the first time I hit Master on Xbox, I started facing pro players who I recognized, right? Bucktooth and stuff. I was like, oh, I recognize these players. Cool. I'm seeing people from back in the day. This is really neat. And then everyone else, as I started to hit Master, I'm like, no, not anymore. And now hitting Master with Dhalsim, it's as if I'm playing 4 or 5 months ago, grinding it out against online laggy scrubs. It's terrible. It's not a good experience whatsoever. In fact, it's the opposite. So how could this be the upper echelon of the game? And the worst part is you're stuck there grinding against idiots. It really is. I know people say, oh, he's insulting these players. Yes, I am. Because these are people who did not make any effort to learn the game. They don't understand the gameplay mechanics. What they did is they found one abusive online pattern. They have terrible internet, and they abuse the terrible internet to get stupid wins. But the point is, most of them are not highly ranked. They're way bottom. Why? Because you can't just win like that. So they just scrub it out, and they ruin the game. They basically infest the player pool with a bunch of worthless matches that are not fun to play because they lag so bad. And this has been happening nonstop now for the last week that I've played in Master with Dhalsim. So last night, I played again, and I said we'd give it a last hurrah. And I am here pleased to say, even though that was my experience for most of the night, I barely fought a single person who really understood how to play the game. I won way more than I lost, and I gained many of my Master ranking points back. Okay? Problem is, the way this game's set up, it's a grind. It's going to take me multiple streams to even get back to 1,500 ranking points, which is the base where you start at Master. And then, hopefully, I keep getting decent matches where I can win sets, and I can keep climbing. But that's the problem. At any moment, you could go on a bad streak where you fight 5 people in a row that are laggy assholes, and they fucking take all your points, and there's nothing you can do. There'd be a difference if I were playing a top-tier character where because of lag, the game's messed up, but I could just mash it out and still win. You cannot mash it out with Dhalsim. He is one of the hardest characters in the game to play with. You need to have accuracy, timing, and 0 dropped inputs, and I'm getting a lot. In the middle of a combo, 2 medium kicks. First medium kick's correct, second medium kick's the wrong direction. Even though I've never released my joystick, it gives me the wrong directional move. What the fuck? So, if I'm going to enjoy Dhalsim, I need the game to get better. Right now, it's shit. It really is. At this level, it's shit. It's like playing awful gameplay, the same of which I faced when the game came out. You know, these scrubs, mashing and lag, and it's stupid that this is at the highest level now. So, but the good news is, I did make progress, okay? So it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like a terrible stream. So over the course of last night's stream, I asked the question to the audience. Do you think I should still continue to play Street Fighter 6? Should we, you know, maybe I could stick with Dhalsim, maybe every once in a while alternate back to say like Blanca or Lily or something. Or should we drop Street Fighter 6 for now? And should we set up Fightcade on my mini PC? And should we try retro games for the next month? Because by late January, Tekken 8 is coming out. And I know people are going to want Tekken 8. And that's going to be my focus. Once Tekken 8 comes out, that'll be my focus for weeks. I'll probably play the campaign, you know, trying characters online, all that, you know, with a new fighting game. I don't know how long it'll stick around. Hopefully longer than Mortal Kombat 1, because that game was dog shit. I mean, I couldn't believe how laggy that shit was. But hopefully, Tekken 8 will be better, and we'll have some longevity, and we'll have another fighting game in the mix that's a modern one that's fun, right? So, we have the two options. Keep going with Street Fighter 6 for the next month, or switch to Fightcade. Now, of course, people have been asking me for Fightcade, no exaggeration, for 5 years. What is Fightcade, if you don't know? Fightcade is an online emulation suite built for PC, where basically it uses GGPO rollback netcode. Don't even get me started on that. But it uses GGPO rollback netcode in order to create an online environment for non-online games. So, for example, these are the emulated arcade versions of some of the classic Street Fighter arcade favorites. The entire Street Fighter Alpha series. Most of the Versus series of games, like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the game that I'm the best at, right? Not overall in the world, but the game that I'm best at as a fighting game. That's what I meant to say. I'm not saying I'm better than everyone else in the world. Fuck no. Especially now. Now I'm probably like ultra rusty at it. And others as well, like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Like all these games are apparently available to be played on Fightcade with an online connection. But from what I've heard now, of course, now that I'm seriously considering it because I have a mini PC, now all of a sudden the truth comes out, right? Because for 5 years everyone yelled at me, you need to play Fightcade, you need to play Fightcade. Well, I don't have the means to do it. I'm going to keep playing the shitty console versions of these retro games. Now I have the means to do it, and now all of a sudden, oh, well, did you know that on Fightcade people can endlessly DM you and spam you with messages and there's nothing you can do about it? Oh, did you know on Fightcade there's a non-disableable chat that's on your screen at all times? Oh, did you know that on Fightcade it's basically just a bunch of constant tryhards and people using macros and cheating, and they're all top players and there's no one on there who's really a scrub that you can learn. It's just a bunch of people who fucking play each other 24/7, so unless you're top level, there's no reason I'm ever playing it. And I hear all this stuff and I'm like, you realize this is what I told you guys years ago. When people first suggested Fightcade to me, I said all of this. And everyone ignored me and said, oh, it's just excuses. He doesn't want to play Fightcade. He wants to scrub it out on console and play people who aren't good. No, it's because I knew all of this already. I literally said every one of those points previously, and everyone ignored me and made excuses. Oh, well, Phil just doesn't want to play it and this and that. No, it's because I know that's how it is. Back in the day, when I was getting, well, not when I was getting prominence for Super Turbo, but when YouTube was starting up, okay? And everyone was getting excited to post up match videos and things on YouTube. Do you remember Dom Dai? Dom Dai came up on Fightcade. Like, he was sitting there on Fightcade every day playing Super Turbo. He learned a ton of strategies and stuff on Fightcade. And then he applied that to in-person tournaments, and he became one of the best Super Turbo players in the United States because of that. So, I knew this from the get-go. This is a try-hard community. They will try as hard as they can to win every single match. Every person will know infinite combos. Every person will know broken strategies. Just trying to play it is probably going to be like getting spanked around for a long time until I get my bearings back in a lot of these games. I doubt I'll even win a single match. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is over there, and I knew that. So, the truth is, I don't know how it would go. If there really is all these methods to troll, of course people are saying, well, there are ways around. With the chat, yes, it's true, the chat's open, you can't stop it, but you can just scroll the chat to the top and it never moves, and then you don't have to see it. With DMs, you can just set yourself to busy. And now, sadly, no one can invite you to matches, but you'll be able to directly invite others to matches, and they can accept. So as long as they accept your match, you can play others. It seems to me Fightcade would work, but it would, let me put it this way. It would be a lot less seamless as playing Street Fighter 6 online. Street Fighter 6, you go right into matchmaking, finds a match, accept, you're good. With Fightcade, it's going to be like, okay, I want to play a match. Well, who's online? Oh, man, there's only 5 people online right now for this game. All right, I'm going to send a manual invite to this person. Well, there's no response. So I don't know if they're there or not. Let me try to send a manual invite to this person. Well, they declined. Okay, let me send a manual invite to this person. Well, there's no response. Let me send a manual invite, and after 10 minutes, finally someone accepts you can play a game at Fightcade. That's what it seems like it's going to be. This is not going to have an insanely huge player base. This is not going to have the smooth, you know, matchmaking experience that you get with a modern fighting game on a console or anything like that. It's not built for that, right? So it could be a totally different experience. And sadly, I don't have a good PC setup or anything. Like, I have a keyboard and mouse. I would have to find a way to extend the length of those over here across my entire office. Maybe the mouse could fit on this table here if I rearrange it a little bit. The keyboard, I got nowhere for it. I have no room here. I got my microphone. I already got my laptop and all my shit here. There's no room for a keyboard. So I'd have to have it on my lap, and I just put it down when I'm gonna play, and then swap to the joystick. Like, no matter what, it's gonna be messy. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you, this is gonna be totally, totally different than previous playing fighting games. You know, this is not console fighting games where everything's set up, you just match, you're done. If it ended up being something that you guys really liked and we had a good time with it, then maybe I would say, okay, I'll go buy a wireless mouse and keyboard to work with the mini PC, and then we can have it set up so it's a little bit more seamless there. You know, there's solutions. It's just I don't have a million pieces of equipment sitting around to do it right now and make it more feasible. But it's a possibility. And quite frankly, I think it's something eventually I'm going to try anyway. Like, I don't want to give up on retro fighting games because there's no good console versions. I want to play Super Turbo. It's my favorite fighting game of all time. And I've now had a 6-month hiatus from it, right? We haven't touched it in how many months? It would be great to go back to it in 2024, maybe bring it back to the rotation. Or even the class. Like I said, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, I was ranked worldwide top 10 in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, that final tournament that was ever held at B5. Was the last major tournament with international people invited, and I was in the top 10 for the game. I was that good at it, you know? Now, I haven't played it in ages, so I probably suck at it now, but it would be great to go back, the nostalgic vibes, to go back and play a game like that, you know what I mean? Anyway, so let's see how it goes, all right? And I need your input. Basically, like, Monday night is when I'm going to play Street Fighter again, and there's only one more stream of Street Fighter this week, Monday night. Do we play more Street Fighter 6, which I'm totally okay with if you want to give it another go? I actually had a positive stream last night where I won more than I lost, and we got a lot of points back with Dalsim. So if that's what people want, I'm okay with that. Or do you want me to try Fightcade? But if I do, I'm forewarning everyone. This is not going to be smooth. It's going to be a lot of issues. We're going to have to set up ways to stop trolling. We might not get many matches. It's going to be wonky trying to adjust and juggle keyboard and mouse and all of that. You know, the way I see it, it's kind of a mixed bag. It could work, but it could also be a pain. Also, I have to figure out when I can set it up. You guys know how much time I already spend in this office all day. You know, I'm in here 10:30 in the morning with a break for dinner, but then I'm in here till like 10:30, 11 at night. I don't have extra hours to sit in here and set shit up, so I have to like make room in my schedule at some point over the weekend to try to get Fightcade working. So I really don't know. Right now, the chat is split. Some people are saying keep Street Fighter, and others are saying try Fightcade. Last night, it was literally exactly the same feedback that I received. It was like 50-50. 50% of the people really like Street Fighter 6 and want to see it continue. They've liked the journey I've had. So they said it's just one more month until Tekken, just stick with it. And others are like, no, let's try something new and fresh. Let's try Fightcade. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm thinking about it, and I'm gonna continue to take all of your feedback over the next couple of days, and we'll think about it. All right, and go from there. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should make it so that I actually have a set time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like rather than saying, oh, on this stream we're playing it, it should be this is the setup stream where we sit there and that night we set up Fightcade. I install it, I get all the ROMs and shit set up, and we set it, and so that way if there's trolling we can laugh at it because it doesn't kill playtime because it wasn't intended to be playtime. It was intended to be a setup stream, right? We could do something like that. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Let me think about it. Please keep giving me your feedback, and I'll determine what we want to do. I think that eventually it's going to happen regardless, just a matter of when, right? It's kind of a matter of ease of use too. And do I want to screw up the schedule right now? We'll see. But I think maybe a setup stream is in order. That way it's not like, oh, we were supposed to be playing Street Fighter all night, and instead you got 2 matches because your Fightcade didn't work, right? Right. We'll talk about it. So thank you. Please give me your, again, wow, look at this. 4 people say Fightcade, but then you got Joe Aloft, you got Jade, Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 6. So it's a mix. Everyone's on a different opinion on this, you know?